Back in early 2015, I fell in love with a chateau I found online. I then had to convince my other half to give up our London life and move to rural France. To my surprise, she said yes, and a year later said yes again at our wedding at the chateau we now called our home. It's just us two and our husky Lightning, and now of course a few animals who seem to have joined us along the way.
It's such a beautiful place to live, so we decided to share it with everyone.
It's obviously a lot of hard work for just us two.
It's not always a fairy tale, and we don't always get it right.
But it's all fantastic fun along the way, so we bring this chateau back to life for others to enjoy as much as we do. Follow us, Angelina and Phil, along with the highs and lows of our chateau life. Hi guys!
Hey everybody!
How's it going? We're back from Michael's. That was hard work.
That was hard work, but necessary, and we're glad we helped him out.
Yeah, his campsite is now open. He is in full swing. So now he's sorted. We've been given the go-ahead preliminary for our event of the year on the 22nd of August. More details to follow as we finalise it, so no need for any questions on that. But it means we need to get rid of a lot of projects we've got lying around, which we're going to start doing, and it really is full steam ahead with trying to get ready because we aren't.
Yeah.
So enjoy the video.
Enjoy.
It's a Sunday, so it's a slow day, not allowed to use big machinery, that sort of thing. It's supposed to be a relaxing day. I'm going to tackle the fountain, which isn't working. I've then got to tackle these banks which are overgrown, which are hiding outside lighting, which isn't working. We've got this lovely carp fountain, which is run by a pump which is suspended underneath that bridge. Think I might know what the problem is. I've just checked, as we actually have koi poo, which are a bit like little otters. They're an invasive species in France. They sit around lakes. They're quite cute, but they're very, very damaging to banks, and they love chewing everything. I mean, they're the size of a small dog, and they've got massive, massive teeth. They like chewing things. I try to not encourage them to be here, but also not do anything about them. Nature is nature. But they have in the past chewed the wires of the pump. So I've just lifted it out to check, and the wires seem intact. Last job, I'm just going to get the boat out and just have a look at the pump more closely in the water. Boat's full of water and my pump's broken, so it's waders. Yay. Okay, that part solved. Now it's back to the electrics. Out with the wiring box. There's the switch, power wires and everything. Right now, we're tripping out the electric box when we try to turn the pump on. That says to me, it's probably the pump itself. Right, time for back in the moat and get that pump out. Just got some water inside the waders, that's fun. The pump's spinning freely. I'm going to disconnect it and see if it still trips everything out. I wonder if we've got some spiders that are trying to destroy my electrics. Let's have a look. So the pump is likely the problem. We've got power everywhere and it's Sunday, no shops are open. So onto the outside lighting, which isn't working, and I'm pretty sure I've got an idea where that problem lies. You can actually see water coming out the side of where the electrical connectors are now. I'm taking the dent. Look, it's all leaking out. Gonna hazard a guess that was definitely the cause of the outside lights tripping out. Let's just see how bad this is inside. Do you know what? It's quite difficult using a screwdriver and holding a camera at the same time. Oh yeah. Right, let's disconnect this and then test the circuit. That's how much water's just come out. Oh, look at it. Oh God, I'm gonna get a wet bum again. Come on. Never buy cheap lights. Okay, puddle of water creeping slowly towards me. Cabling made safe. Small pond inside the floodlight. Disconnected. Now to try the power switch and see what happens. Oh. We have something. And that something is an outdoor light. The flickering is only because of the video. It's not an electrical problem. LED bulbs don't particularly work well on video camera. The outdoor lights over here in the same circuit are working. Now to test the last lot, hidden in the undergrowth. Somewhere in amongst all this is not only a switch, the 3 floodlights which go back to the chateau, the actual floodlights. Switch. Hello little lights, you've got to be in here somewhere. Come on now. No, let's try to find one that's not quite as overgrown. Spare. Let's get this fitted. At least I can get something done today. Power's off. Let's try to... Power's off. Let's try to get this fitted there. Yeah. I can definitely see a difference. Lights all wired up. Final test. We have power and nothing's tripped, and I haven't blown up. Good start. And we have a working light. Now to just dangerously lean over the moat with no safety gear. It's only a small drop. And mount the light back again. Now for the rest of the outside lights at the front. Different circuit. Start checking this junction box. Not sure if this could be a slight problem, but there's an ant's nest in this junction box. Right, I'll come back to this after they've stopped trying to attack me. Well, after all of that, at least these are working. I do love these. Inside gate pillars, we've got one working. Hopefully that's just a bulb. The 2 at the front door, so at least we can see out the front a little bit. What else is...
This is where we decided we're going to put the sign on instead, because the entrance of the road is better served for banner and events. The banners are going to be seen by the public a lot better, especially when there's something on, so it's a better idea. This is a great space. There'll be arrow pointing towards our gates, heading that way. This is our gates. They're beautiful, aren't they? They do need some painting, and I have an idea to do them in white and gold, so stay with me. But over here is where we had our sign, and it was this tiny little size. It's beautiful, one I made earlier, but it didn't do the Chateau justice, so that was the reason why we made a bigger one out of the tabletop. And it used to hang right here, and look how small it is, and people always used to miss it. So we were under pressure to create a bigger one, but it was beautiful nevertheless.
So next job is I'm going to cut all the grass down there, so around the bottom of the post. Do you think you can get rid of the ivy?
Yes, I can. Sun's out, so everyone's doing a bit of work. The noise you can hear in the background is the farmer cutting the field grass or something. Anyways, the reason I'm removing the ivy all the way down, including the roots with this tool, is because it's all well and good in removing the top, but you actually need to try as much as possible to remove the roots, because it'll grow back. And what ivy does, sometimes it's pretty, sometimes it isn't. What it does is it wraps around the tree, keeps the moisture in from the rain, doesn't let the sun in, and keeps the shade in, and therefore makes wood rot. And that's how a lot of trees die. So if you can get it early, the roots are not going to be that deep, they're going to be quite shallow, and that's very important. So if you see it around your gardens, do it now before it's too late.
Originally, we really wanted the sign just here. It would just be directly in front of the gates. However, I've always got to swing fairly large trailers and stuff in this area, and so we don't want to potentially clip the sign, so it's going just down there where there's already a post in the way. Angelina's going to get rid of this little tree, bush, elderflower, I think, whatever it is, out the way so I can swing better, and I'm going to make the legs for the sign.
So I managed to cut down the branches as much as possible with a pair of loppers, and it was fairly easy, but there's only so much of branch thickness you can go through, so up to perhaps an inch or less. So for that reason, we started to use a new machine, which is really awesome and might be handy for women out there, because Phil does not let me use a chainsaw. He has not taught me how to use it for that reason, because he's worried about me. So we went with this instead. It's a handheld electric battery operated, basically branch saw, and this is how it works really. Look at that. So it can go through perhaps 1.5 to 2 inches. Branches perhaps longer, but the weight will cause issues. But this is a versatile tool that lets me get on with the jobs that Phil otherwise would have to. And if Phil's not around, I don't want to be sitting and waiting. So let's get on with finishing that project while Phil is doing something else. So let's see this tool in action. Finished. As you can see, this tool is a game changer. It really completes the task really effortlessly and quickly. That's the main thing, without breaking a sweat. Now, me and Phil have one of these each, and it's actually a second pair now we're going through, because the first one just sort of died out on us. We were using it so much. We were able to complete so much. They're really inexpensive and I really highly recommend. I'll put some links in the description below for you guys so you can check it out and see. But you can see how quickly I was able to complete a project that I couldn't do without a chainsaw and Phil's help. Now this area is lovely and clear now. Let's clear up the ivy of the tree now. Great, now the trees can live again for longer. I just wanted to point out, when it gets really thick and it's really tough to get the root system out, obviously impossible. So the least you can do is cut it and then separate to make sure that this part isn't going to be getting the hydration and keep growing up the tree. So this will obviously produce likely a little young ivies, which you can easily then pull out. So, but that's the least you can do, at least.
Right, 5 centimeters. Let's see what else needs to be added. And here's the sign, and that is 2 centimeters. So I need 6 centimeter screws.
Now Phil will be able to swing out with the trailer with ease, without clipping anything, nice and easy. And here's Philly with the legs for the sign. Hello, Philly.
Hello.
So tell me, how will it be held?
I've got to bang them into the ground, so it's time for a sledgehammer.
Okay, perhaps a spot of lunch first, bit of energy, and then, yeah?
I'm very glad you said that.
Okay, let's head out then.
All right.
Time to remove the old signs.
Right, I'm going to put 2 posts in and bang these into the ground, and then we're going to screw from the back into the sign with very specific length screws, so it goes in enough to hold it but doesn't come through the front. I don't want to screw from the front into it for obvious reasons. So I'm going to get this in. I've cut the posts at an angle to beat them into the ground. It's a bit tough, and stupidly I forgot we had 2 of these. So we're going to make life a bit easier with this. Not just a gardening tool, this. Perfect. We're going to go slightly further out from this, just to make sure we're not banging into posts, because once you start getting these in, you don't really get them out again. And We're going to get these in first and then get the posts in. Ooh.
Is it level?
It's level. I'm now going to screw the posts in. These will only go in a certain way because both concrete next to this and tree roots and all sorts of things, which is fine. They're solid and ultimately that's good for the moment. We may use our friend's digger with a post knocker in the future for a couple of bits, but we're going to see how we like the sign here for the moment. And time to get the post on. We're going to have to cut this one down now though, because it was planning to be in the ground for quite a bit. We'll work that out. This post is nice, secure, ready to go. We won't get any further down than that because there's some concrete, I think, or just where the level is. Over here, I've made a change, which you often do when you're doing projects at Chateau. You just work it out as you go sometimes. Best laid plans never go. So I've got some L brackets to the telegraph pole here, which is a much sturdier post anyway. And I can add other things in the future. We'll see how this goes. But right now, this is a bit better than my original plan, and we're just going to screw through. So it's time to put the sign up. This is where we need levels and two people holding and all sorts of things. You ready, hun?
Yep.
One last thing, because we haven't yet made the arrow which says left to go in because it wasn't intended for here originally. We're going to put this on as temporary measure. Hope people can see it.
We'll just have to make equally as beautiful arrow then.
I'm thinking just a nice one in white and gold pointed that way. I'll carve the arrow.
Yeah, I think so, or something along those lines for
and
sure.
Then we'll just hang it down.
Yeah, I think so. That'll be so cool.
It's up.
Yay! Congratulations to us. Hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. My sign is finally up. I'm so pleased. It's awesome. Almost complete. Just little things needed. But now that we have the go-ahead for the event, we've got varied projects, big and small, to do, especially me against time.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of really big projects. We've got the go-ahead for the events. I've got to try to build a stage for them, so we're going to see how that goes and how we can manage that. I've got a big idea in my head, but it's going to be based on time. But the most important bit to me is I've got to turn an old horse box into a fully working bar, as it's going to be fairly impossible to have an event and serve drinks without a bar. I'm looking forward to that because, you know, bar. So
any excuse.
Yeah, any excuse. And also it's been a project that's been kicking around for a long time. I had to loosely get it ready for events last year because we just ran out of time.
Yeah.
And this year's the year it gets done 100%. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, stay tuned with that. And if you like this week's video, as always, give us a like, leave us a comment, tell us what you think. It's great, isn't it? And subscribe. If you're new to the channel, hit the bell button so you get the latest notifications. Thank you to all our subscribers so far.
Yeah, thank you for being part of the Chateau family. And of course, that is not just you guys viewing at home, that's our patrons as well. Thank you so much for your support and helping this channel. As always, thank you. If you would like to check out what you get as being a patron, some of the behind the scenes, the patron only videos, please take a look in the link below in the comment section.
Yep, well, description.
Close enough, close enough.
Anyways, but we'll see you next week.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.